Hi, this is Michael Hurley from Ghost Galaxy, and you're listening to Archons Corner.
Really? All right, everybody. What's going on, everybody? I am the one, the only, the WOOKIE, joined here by the normal cast of misfits. Z showed up on time today. What's up, Z?
I'm always on time if I... Oh, man. No, I'm not. That's
No, you're
a lie. Not.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
This is where you use that line, a wizard is never weird, you know.
Shows
I-
precisely
when he
means to. Yep. There you go. Speaking of wizards, we got the Choke Show, Drazcore.
Hey guys, it's Kaz Draz here.
Draz. I like Choke Show
Kaz?
better still.
Just some cash sealed.
Yep. Speaking of casuals, what's up, Ewok?
Hello, Keyforge community. Glad to get actually introduced for once.
Yep.
It's been a couple weeks.
I introduced you. Okay, maybe I didn't. I don't remember. But we got Sheep too. What's up, Sheep?
Not much.
That's the most excited I've heard you in months. And we have the newest member to our little shindig showing up. We got Southerly. What's up, Southerly?
Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Oh, I like it.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Gotta keep everyone on their toes.
Yeah, that got me. But we got some stuff and things to go
Should we
over.
tell people who Southerly is?
We did. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, he's
I
an
don't know.
elf. What more do they need to know?
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
So Southerly has been brought on to do our normal
He's
programmer.
smart and we're not.
Yeah, and our
That's
normal
what's up.
programmer doesn't know how to program anymore. Drazcore.
So as a good podcast, we would say, welcome, Southerly. Who are you and how'd you get into Keyforge?
But we're not a good podcast.
We're not a good
just
podcast, so
shills.
we're skipping all of that.
We're just a
Yeah.
bunch of shills here.
Yeah.
Warned you guys. But we figured this was a good time to have Southerly on. I don't know if he's going to be joining us all the time, but he's working on some of the background stuff for us. As far as, well, I guess it's up there for the new Z score. I can't call it Zeta testing. I just can't. It hurts.
We are currently
You just
Zeta
did
testing the Z-score process with some of the long-term and a few new Patreons that are out and about.
But big news. Are you guys ready for this? Huge news.
Hear it.
Did you hear about it? Sheep got
JML
his-
is our winner.
Sheep
He's our
got
winner,
his-
man.
Sheep got his deck confirmation today.
Woo!
Yeah, I did.
All right, which
Yep.
one of us sent it to him?
Who hacks? GG.
But Creative Chaos was insistent that he was going to get his after me, but indeed, his confirmation came 5 minutes before mine.
Oh,
Same
By-
vibe.
by mere minutes, eh?
That's right. I am still, to my knowledge, the last person to get it.
The last American.
Yeah.
The
I was
last
saying
American. Don't go say the last.
Oh no, we got enough trash for laughing at the poor EU crowd and other countries not getting their stuff.
Hey, I feel bad. I feel bad for him. Like if we had to wait, and it really did. It was rough. I can only imagine having to wait longer, and that's where I leave it.
I mean, never mind. I was just gonna start a USA chant, but it seems
America.
seems not good at this point in time.
I think
But
the toughest part's probably waiting now that it's live in TCO.
right, no, God, that has to hurt too. I forgot about all that. Now you can play TCO,
I mean,
and they just
guys,
get
if you
to
really
look
want
at other
stuff,
people playing their stuff.
I've got some stuff for sale on eBay.
I got the stuff, man. You need some stuff? I got it.
I also have the stuff on eBay.
We will ship it to you faster than GG. I guarantee it.
That's probably not
Yes.
wrong. Is the problem with all of that. But Vault Tour Philly, we're here. Well, we're almost here.
Yeah,
We can just say we're here, right? We're here.
I mean, by the time you release this, it will be here.
Probably. With the way my schedule's been running lately, yeah. By the time we release this, well, you guys will be playing.
There you go.
We should probably
might
figure out a
be
recording.
Gen Con by then.
Yeah, we might want to figure out a recording schedule for that week, considering you guys are Scoots Gadooing. Right?
I mean,
Well, maybe
yeah.
not Drazcore. Drazcore, you live there, so
Yep.
That's not a big thing, but I think the rest of you are leaving on Thursday, which is the normal time we record.
What?
No, these guys are all coming Friday.
No
Oh,
one's
they're-
leaving on Thursday.
No one's leaving on Thursday? Oh, it's all Friday?
It is very early Friday, though.
Okay.
Very early.
Well, we'll figure something out. We'll figure something
Yeah.
out for next week. Maybe it'll just be me, Southerly, and Drazcor.
I mean, we do have such titillating news to share every week that
He said titillating.
I'm just imagining that it's going to be a plethora of news for next week as well.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it is pretty big. This is.
I mean, who
this
knows?
is-
Maybe by next week there'll be like product announcements of when internationals are going to get stuff, vault announcements for the other two here, and the unknown amount that are there. I mean,
Z, your optimism is amazing today. I
yeah,
love
like
it.
by next
Woo.
Thursday we could be announcing the German nationals, the Italian nationals, the UK nationals, because
China.
surely these are going to happen
The
like
Swedish.
real soon to go to this Worlds event in 4 months.
I did see a rumor of a China event. I don't know if it was for real or not. But,
Yeah.
Sorry, that would be funny
yeah.
if the Chinese got. An
Oh wait,
event
yeah,
before.
Canada. They should have a nationals, right?
Vietnam.
I mean, you would think Canada
Uh-huh.
would have a nationals,
They did
considering
before.
they're like right there.
They had a
I'm
GC.
greedy. I just want to see actual information for our U.S. pre-release.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, it is information's out, right? So
Not
it's
Really, there is a not very well released flyer
yeah.
that says you can get stuff.
My store
there is-
ordered it.
There is nothing about like this is how we want you to run an event. These are prizes. These are tournament software. This is anything. Like here's 3 decks and a chain tracker. Do what you want with them. Like that's
Yeah.
what we have at the moment.
I don't mind that. That's not that bad.
It is that bad if you're a store looking to run this.
Is it?
What do I do
though?
with this stuff?
You give it to the person that plays Keyforge, and the 4 other people that are there will play with them.
Okay, I mean like
Well,
that is the honest way it will run, but that's not very good for trying to build communities or do something with it. Like
I mean,
well, and
this isn't
Wookiee, as
rocket
you
science. I mean, and it's not like they're like, oh, there's what are the there's no real prizing, like real. I mean, I shouldn't say real prizing, but there's no prizing involved. Like there's no shards or anything getting handed out. So
well, clearly because there's been nothing announced, but as a representative of a store who like, or just say you're a store and you're like, oh, hey, Keyforge was okay before. I wouldn't mind running this. I don't have a current crowd, but I think I could run this and make some money. I'm going to order this. And then you're just like, oh, what do I actually do with it? Like, what's the best tournament format for this game? What's like any research or work they have to do is bad.
Yeah, we do want to take the burden off of the game store. As you heard from our own local game store, they didn't know that we were actually meeting every week, and we've been doing that for multiple months now. They
Yeah,
thought
this
we
is
were
true.
just another Magic Pod group that was over in the back, and so we had to really inform them. So again, have a presence, talk to your stores, keep buying product. But yeah, anything we can do to remove any thought process from them. Hey, there's a Keyforge group. Go play with them. They're on this day. It's back. It's alive. That's what we really need communicated. And, beyond that, we need software. We need a lot more, but at least start there.
all right. Moving forward, SAS update. Z, what's going on in the world of SAS?
She just released something on the, I think it's on the homepage. I actually never navigated to it, and it says this: "Woe to be those who seek the SAS. The architect of SAS are hard at work building SAS and ARC scores for Winds of Exchange. You should expect scores to be released around early July, but no deadline has been set." And she also has a note here that she is planning on building a feature for $6 and up Patreons to preview SAS scores as they are built. That sounds terrifying. But yes, I am part of that. I am one of the SAS architects. So we've been looking at lots of cards, lots of synergies. A lot of things are going to have to change because WoW is very different. Dark Tidings was technically very different, but the work really wasn't put in to see the difference. But I can affirm that there is a lot of work being done on the back end to try to get SAS scores to be at least as accurate as they were for Coda. I don't know if that's gonna ever be a thing because Coda was actually really easy to SAS because it was built for that. So I'm not sure when this all get done, but there is a whole group of people working on this daily as we speak.
And if you're tired of waiting for SAS, sign up for
That's
our
true.
Patreon. For $1 a month, you can get your Z score.
And you can get that today.
And you can get
And
that
if
right
there's
now.
feedback you would like to provide and
The
change scores,
only thing that it will take the longest time is for me to get you a green name tag or orange name tag.
It's orange. Yeah, on our Discord. You do have to be part of our Discord. You do have to be at least a $1 tier Patreon. And right now, you do. It is all through Google, but potentially in the future, you'll see that. Did you want to say anything about that literally since you're here with us?
I don't know what there is to say. I'm the developer here. There are plans in the works.
That's what coders sound like, guys. That's what happens.
Yep.
Software. 0011001.
I didn't go outside today.
That is the most humble statement there. Southerly, the amount of time and effort that you have put in on the backside, I'm just still in awe. So thank you.
I still like I didn't go outside today. Got me.
On the other side of that, as far as how the Z score goes, I've gotten multiple feedback this week and last week as far as people telling me that the Z scores that they're seeing are lining up with their decks that they've played a lot forever and the decks that they've been seeing performing well in WoW coming up. So that's all super encouraging. I hope it gets better over time, kind of just like SAS did, and they can coexist together because they are very different animals, even though the goal is the goal is to rate decks in a certain way. SAS and Arc account for everything all cards can do. Z-Score doesn't necessarily do that because there are lots of cards I just don't give a shit about because they don't win games and they will never have any impact on your Z-Score other than to lower the average of the deck because they just don't win, even if they do this one thing randomly once in a blue moon. And SAS is going to put effort into capturing that, and score will not. So that is going to be the main difference going forward, assuming they coexist peacefully one day.
Don't go to war.
I don't got time for war. Sorry,
Declaration
guy.
written up. Just need your signature.
Yeah, turn two keys at the same time.
That's
No,
right.
they're both great. Yeah,
But
Yeah, and I've been enjoying seeing the parallels now that I'm working on both simultaneously. Very interesting.
but it's that time of year. We haven't done one of these in actually quite a long time. So Dr. Sheep thought it was a good idea that we get into the AMA. That's why we brought Southerly on, because he is now a part of the AC commingle. Did you put these in order, or am I? Yeah, you did.
I literally just pasted them from the Discord in the order that they were asked.
Got it. That's good, because I was going to read out who actually asked them, because I think that sometimes we'll give context. But let's.
You could also just go to the Discord.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. So I just wanted to know if they're in that order. But let's start out with X-Ray Sucks. Why is Wookiee the host of the show and not Dr. Sheep? We need more positivity.
Well, that'll jack it up.
Through the moon personality. I don't know. Maybe because I started the show? I don't know.
I mean, it was the Wookiee show.
It is deference to you.
I mean,
for sure.
And to be fair, Sheep and Z were hosts of the show for like a year when I was gone. I wasn't gone for a year, but for 3 months when I was gone, they basically ran the show. It was Z, Ewok, and Sheep.
Yeah.
I mean, we did get better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here now. So.
Oh,
And he did get out to play Keyforge.
I
so
did. I got to
Oh,
play
yay,
Keyforge
him.
this week. Oh my goodness, I was so excited to get out and actually just play some Keyforge. It was nice. It felt good. It felt good.
So the key to being the lead host is being the loudest, and
Yes.
Wookiee just owns it, right?
Yeah. I thought it was like doing the editing because nobody wants to do that part.
Yeah, nobody.
Also that.
Including the host. He also doesn't want to do that, but
Yeah,
he does do it.
Yeah,
a lot of the
but he
time.
actually does it. So
Yeah. So
He also edited when we were recording and he
Yep.
wasn't even here. So
Nope,
I'll give him
I
that.
Sure did. I sure did. So the show must go on, right? And sometimes you got to tap dance, and sometimes I don't know where I was headed with that analogy, but you know,
You're not tap dancing.
so yeah, I'm not tap. I'm not. You're right, 100%. I don't know how to tap dance, but I think a lot of people like confused what a host is. Like my job is to facilitate the show moving forward and let all the others talk. Sometimes I get on my soapbox. I bring out the old soapbox and rant. But yeah.
I thought
think
your
it's
job was
more-
to demand the unnerfing of bait and switch. I thought that's what it was.
Well, that's the soapbox.
that's his
one of
moonlight.
that's one of my boxes that I bring out and that I stand on and go, "Hey, what do you think? I mean, one day Shadows will be free again to rule the world. All right, how do you balance competitive natures with the randomness and coin flipping kind of gameplay we experience? What keeps you playing this game rather than going to something where you have more agency?" Boy, we love that word.
Like, I mean, at this point in time, I feel like I used to know what the word agency meant. And then GG came along, and I don't think anyone knows what this word means anymore. But anyway, I don't actually know what they're referring to as far as other games with more agency. Like, I'm from the board game world, and there are board games that have, like, no random factors, but most have plenty of random factors. So, like, this is just part of gaming, right? Like, I don't know of any other thing that I would even attempt to go to that wouldn't have, like, that thing in it, right?
Well, agency in this case often refers to deck building.
Yes.
Yeah, but even if you're building a deck, like, I think what they're actually, like, experiencing in gameplay is the same thing that happens there too, because, like, all those deck building games, you can end up with clumping or bad draws, or
Not
you
if
get
you stack
countered
your
by
deck.
X deck.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
yeah,
and
not
that's
if, not,
Well,
not
Walk,
cheating.
Walkbot says dictionary.com, definition number 9 of 10, says the capacity to act or exert work.
Okay.
I'm not.
If you just
I'm
shuffle
not.
a little better, right?
I don't really know what happened there. Wait, what?
That's one of the many definitions.
It's
of
the
agency.
actual definition. So you have the ability to control your deck, which is what they're trying to do. But we loved when the deck was just printed and we played what was given to us.
Yeah.
But I think the thing, like, I think we have almost the same amount of agency as any other game, honestly.
No, we
when you
don't.
break it, I think we do.
No,
like, you
no.
choose what deck you bring. You choose what deck you're buying.
You are
unless you're playing
delusional.
sealed.
Yeah, but even sealed, right? Like, it is the puzzle aspect. It is the constraint that breeds innovation, right?
Yes.
How do I take this pile of questionable cards and make it
Maximize
good?
it.
And that, to me, is way more interesting than, how do I build some pods to insta-win on turn 4?
Yeah.
I'm the exact opposite. I want to insta-win on turn 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're also
Or-
bringing 5 Heart of the Forest. So
Yeah, or I want to take everything to a screeching halt to just piss you off as much as possible.
Wookiee's joy is taking your agency away.
No.
You think you can forge creatures, play creatures, make choices? No,
stuff?
no. I'm taking that all away.
No, I
Can-
want to
can
play.
we-
I want to play chess while you're playing checkers. That's really what I want to do. Mono
Can
blue,
we
baby.
talk about the antiquities dealer that brought in Heart of the Forest, though, for a second?
Oh my
That
god, I
angers
love
me
it.
so much. They
Why?
easily could have shut that shit down.
I love
but
it. I love it.
No.
So there's your spectrum. Love it, hate it.
Love it.
I will say for balanced competitive, I think that Keyforge has that balance, but I like to pick decks that are more consistent. I think you look at that with draw and efficiency, practice, being able to play your deck. But frankly, you got to be okay with losing because that's Keyforge at times. It's just completely out of your control with the cards and how they come together. But that's the board game player in me, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's all games pretty much. That's every game I ever played, really, that I played a lot. Like, anyone that's came up with the Catan experience, right? There's just certain games where you got the 6 and 8 and it just doesn't hit. You're like, come on. You just got to learn to play through it.
Okay, so my input on this is agency, which back to Ewok's definition, which is the ability to put in work, right? Like, that is why Keyforge is the game for a lot of people, because there is, to a greater extent in this than other games, diminishing returns for work spent not practicing actual play, right? The other card games and a lot of build a deck games, like spending a ton of time right as sets are coming out or being right on the cutting edge and having the plans and trying to build meta decks and spending tons of time thinking about that is beneficial. And then the other half of the world net decks it, whatever the best players think of. But the best players out there, they're on the cutting edge and winning because they spend a ton of time with their agency planning what's going to be good and what's going to work. That happens. That is a thing in Keyforge for sure, but you have far less ability to say, I want exactly this set of cards. You get these few cards with some other stuff, right? Like, that's how it works in this game. And that is why it is a game for so many, because we don't have time to constantly be redoing iterations on a single deck. I mean, like, is this best if I have 3 copies of this kill spell and put in this one that handles this situation? Or is it best to have 4 copies of this? And I got to play 50 games with this deck each way to find out which one actually gives me the highest win percentage, right? Like, people do that with Magic.
Yep.
People are doing that with Keyforge to some extent too, but it's like, it's an A-B deck thing. It's maybe they're doing it more, and as they were talking about in Alliance, like, people do that in Alliance, they switch out pods, and then they have to play a ton more games to see if that is overall effective. And that sounds awful to me, and I hate it. And it's why I play this game, because you don't have to do that stuff, and you can still be competitive. Right? Like, that's why I like this game, and this game also has the unique aspect of the deck I'm playing is not the deck you're playing, where I can be competitive at top end Magic because I can net deck, right? I'm that smart, but that loses a lot of luster to me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just playing the same deck as somebody else. Like, even though I'm going to go play Fraud, which is the same deck somebody else has played, but nobody else is playing Fraud at this event. So that's the things that make Keyforge the game.
Yeah. Well, and even to what your point, like, in Fraud, yes, every deck is unique. Yeah. Fraud is so unique. There aren't any other really equivalent-ish decks to it either. So it's not like you could say someone else is also playing a similar deck. No one else will be playing a similar deck either. So, like, that is still a pretty unique thing about the game we play that does not exist elsewhere. But I think in the end, the answer to this question is, like, we don't actually consider the result as random as I think the question is asking. I think most of us consider it to be along the gameplay experience as most other games that are deck builders. And then there are high rolls, low rolls, but that is all games. That is a wash for us, I think. That's what we're saying.
All right.
Yeah.
Anybody else chiming in before we move on? Going once, going twice.
Yeah. Let's hit Rise's question. See what we got.
Sold. How many wild wormholes is too many wild wormholes?
4.
One.
Wow.
Yeah. In a good deck, 1. In a fun deck, there's no such thing as too many.
Nova and me fight about this card. I hate this card. I hate cards like this card.
This is
So if
random inconsistency stuff that we were just talking about in the last question, right? Like, this is the kind of randomness that can drive me nuts.
Mhm.
if your number of wild wormholes is equal to or greater than the number of key hammers in your deck, then that's bad.
See, I have a different answer. Ready?
I'm ready.
Three, because I enjoy D House and J-Bray.
Oh,
Okay,
hold on.
okay.
So we do need one more. We need one more because at this moment, Call of Discovery is winning because they came out with an episode more recently. Wild Wormhole, you just need one more, and then you guys win. So I don't know what you guys are waiting for. Get on it.
They've moved on to a new cast.
Yeah, but
I was gonna say
you
they're
got to go
doing-
back and republish. Go back to
They're-
that thread.
They're
Publish
doing a whole
some
new show
episode.
now.
Just being like, we won, and then that's why they don't need to.
That's all it
to
says.
record
We
anymore.
won.
Yeah, we
This card
won.
just hates me. I swear, like if I play this card, Keyhammer will not even be in my deck. It will find it
And
from
it'll
someone
show
else's
up.
deck, put it on top of my deck, and play it to them. Or
Lateral
some
shift.
other card that says you lose.
Fraud is guaranteed to wild wormhole into a battle fleet when you have
Battlefleet
0
turn one.
Mars cards.
Turn one,
You're
yep.
like, fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
I-
it's just like anything. It depends on the deck, and you also have to know what's in your draw pile.
Mhm. Yeah.
You
Do
know,
all
like,
the math right and all that. And then you still get burned. It's great.
yeah.
I'm-
And then it's actually far worse to lose to somebody who's like, and if I wild wormhole into my key cheat, I win.
Yes.
And then they
That
do it.
happens
And then you're
against
like-
me. I
you're like,
definitely
this
do
is
that for other
bullshit.
people.
No, normally
I
it's
have
something
Bickle.
dumb like if I wild wormhole into my wild wormhole, that will give me my 7, and then if that wild wormhole hits my key charge, I win, and then it just happens. And you're like, I hate this game.
Yeah.
Someone did something like that to me today. They're like, if I reap to draw Effervescent Principle, I can have one more turn. And then that happened. They had 14 cards in their deck. I was like, dang it.
that kind of randomness,
It's frustrating.
it is frustrating, but it is also part of why
Also,
this game is fun.
A get out
right?
of jail
'Cause
free card.
this stupid stuff happens.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I'm competitive and all, but like, I can accept that silly stuff's going to happen, and you just go on with your day.
And then Sheep gets a warning because he threatens his opponent. But anyway,
I've never threatened anybody
oh,
in
that's right,
Keyforge.
you slammed
Yeah,
the
okay,
table.
because I'm
That's right.
like,
That's
I didn't do that either.
right. Yes, you did.
It wasn't a
did
threat,
not.
Ewok, when he.
What did
he
you do?
threatened
Like
to-
you threw cards or something?
I
don't
tossed
remember.
my deck on the table because I was
Oh.
frustrated. And that was a
Mm.
time call thing.
I
Which
do know a
is-
player that did slam like their hands on the table, but it was not you.
This is in the Yeti days, so I don't know. But yes, it was. Yes, you threw your cards. I'm sorry, or slammed your. I don't remember.
And it was
Now I-
actually because they lost with fraud.
All right, repeat coming next weekend.
I am still of the notion that Wild Wormhole is the worst card in Keyforge.
Oh,
Well,
no,
that is not true.
It's definitely not the worst card.
I hate it. It's the worst card to me.
If it's like,
All right, I will take wild wormholes, and you can have dive pods.
Okay, deal.
Or
I want
worse.
NARPs. Can I have NARPs?
Yes, you can have NARPs.
Perfect.
All right, move us along, Wookie.
All right. When you hand someone your phone to show them a picture, how many swipes is too far past the subject? 1.
Yeah,
I
they
handed you
should
my
not
phone
be
to show
flying
you
in
a
my shit.
picture. What are you looking for, creep?
Be
I mean-
careful. You may not like what you swipe to.
Depends on who I'm passing it to, right?
I don't know. I
I mean,
haven't
you know
got-
how
I haven't gotten
sometimes,
any. Go ahead.
You'll hand it off to someone who's not very technologically literate, and then like they just keep going. It's just like,
Oh, what does this
why?
button do?
Why don't you think about it? Why do you keep scrolling? It told you to look at the.
I mean,
So why
I
do you
haven't got-
actually like hand your phone to another person? I just hold it in front of their face, and then I go, "You see with your eyes."
No, this
What
is
about when
you
they
have
grab
like
it?
15 pictures from vacation and you hand it over so they can swipe.
Oh,
And
but
they're
not that
swiping.
one.
They're like, oh, look, you saw whatever. You saw this animal and you saw this car burning on the side of the road.
Only sheep.
Only
So-
sheeps. That's the next Archons Corner
If
venture.
if
Only
I
sheep.
hand you my phone, you are allowed to swipe through all of the pictures.
It's like, but what if
That's
they
the
get to
kind
your
of
OnlyFans
boring.
thumbnail?
No, that's not on my phone.
Oh,
That is the kind of boring I am. You will see a whole lot of pictures from work.
That is his
And they are
browser history,
boring.
not on his phone.
I think almost all of the pictures in my phone would be like Keyforge, like decks. Like, you want to check out my deck pick?
Somehow I'm not.
That is true. I have a
Somehow-
lot of QR codes, pictures in my phone.
Somehow I'm
A
not
lot.
surprised. Somehow I'm not surprised. So, Ewok, how many swipes can we swipe in your phone?
Oh, one, I told you, be careful. You may not
Just one?
want or like to see what you swipe to. So be careful.
I think if now that you had to get rid of that phone, you probably have the most PG phone in this group.
Okay.
So if Ewok has
like a
the
challenge.
most PG phone, right? Who has the most rated R phone?
R. You're stopping there?
R. Well, okay. You want to go X, triple X, whatever. Who's got the
Most
the
maturely
spice-
rated phone.
Who's got the spiciest phone?
I feel like
I
that's
mean, I
you.
probably have the
That's-
spiciest memes on there.
I don't know. I don't know Southerly well enough to throw him under the bus.
I kind of want to just
I mean,
for fun.
isn't Southerly young? Like,
Yeah, so how old are you? You're like still in college,
21.
right? So you're like 20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like knowing my past. I would have to vote for Southerly.
But mind you, he's going to school for coding.
That's fine.
Mhm.
That's cool now.
Oh, that's cool now? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was boring.
No, it's
It's
still not.
It's still not cool.
The ladies
it's cool to my
aren't
friends,
all
guys,
up
come on.
ons.
No, I guess not. Well, let's leave it to the listeners. Put it in the chat who you think has the most spicy phone in the AC group.
I think I could actually probably challenge JR's claim. Like, my phone is probably literally just 1,000 decks. Like, I don't know if there's anything else in it.
You have 1,000 pictures in your phone?
JR's gonna have a lot of family pictures, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have none. Nearly
Stupid
none.
family.
Yeah,
Let's take a
but-
picture of you.
My wife takes all those things, and I don't take pictures when I'm on travel, really, other than the ones I
No.
have to.
I use this thing called my brain. I just remember being there. Like,
You just remember?
yeah, what do I need pictures for?
You don't remember last week.
What are you mind meld with people when you're
I'm
telling
with
them about a
was it
place?
worth
What are you-
remembering? Was it?
Oh.
I don't know.
Say that when we get back from Philly. Snuggle buddy.
Ooh.
All right, Wookie.
Moving forward, which house have creatures with the hardest to pronounce names?
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
It's the new one.
Yeah, the new
Equidon.
one. Is it Equidon or is it Mars? I still think
It's not
Mars
the
is pretty
Equidon.
high
They
up
actually wrote all of the Mars ones in a way that you can actually say them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, half the Equidon creatures, we are like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
there
weird
are-
shapes above letters. Like,
You can't even phonetic your way through them. It's just
No.
like garbage. It's,
it's like what is the A with the up down the smiley face on top? I don't know.
So-
like
Every time I see House Equidon, have you ever watched Burt Kreischer? The Machine?
No.
Nope.
No? Okay, so he does a whole thing about how he joined the Russian mob in his like college years, but he was taking Russian, and the only reason he was passing Russian was because like they needed a kid for the class, and he just happened to be that kid, so he was just, his teacher's like, I'll just give you a C. It's like, you know how hard it is to fake being in a class when you have to write when your alphabet's written in hieroglyphics? That's how I feel every time I look at a Equidon name. Smiley face star hashtag.
So I went back through our comments, and I got to be honest, there were more I had both Mars and Equidon up here. I do think it's going to fall on Icky Icky, but you do have, your shrewd investor, Steward Sue Uzane, the old tinkerer. You have the belligerent guard. You have a number that do not follow the standard process for Icky. Mars can get a little wonky with
But
its
Mars
multiple
has things
souls.
like John Smith.
Correct.
Well, no,
and
what I'm
that's where it
saying
is.
is even the stupid Mars ones are written in a way they can make a word without
Zizix is
interrupting the
Zizix.
way you speak.
Correct.
Zifflefrox is Zizzlefrox.
Blipip, Zizix, Ulig, like these are just okay to say,
Would it
and everyone knows what you're saying.
would
Whereas
it be
if
crazy
you say the word,
for,
some of these
like,
other ones, like which buggy's which, no one's ever gonna know. It's the buggy that does this
Yes.
thing.
that I can agree with.
Like no one will ever know which buggy you're talking about. You literally have to just say it's the buggy that draws cards. It's the buggy that gains amber. It's the buggy that makes tokens. Like that's it. Like they are all those whatever buggies.
Yeah, they all start with SHI with a smiley over it. Like what?
Yep.
Like what do you even? I don't know.
and they dot their I's with hearts.
Yeah.
That's actually the next. That's actually the next house. I'm sorry, guys. Spoilers.
Oh, the Grim Reminders.
The Grim
The
Reminders.
Gormangeists.
All the Gorman guys dot their I's with hearts. That would be a great house theme. But anyways, what is the worst card to draw in your opening hand after a mulligan? Anything on
Well,
TCO?
it's got to be
Keyhammer.
Keyhammer's. No, it's got to be the Cursed Relic. Because
I don't know. I still think stuff like from back in the day, because I played Coda way more than anything else. Like nothing pissed me off more than drawing TMTP after a mulligan. Like that.
that's
like,
true. Because it's your
That was
answer.
an experience I will never forget. Because it just
Oh, you mean every
time it
experience
happened,
I
you're
have?
like, God.
Yeah, like
It's-
whenever you get your only scaling Ember control in the deck,
Yeah.
that hurts.
So I like that you guys are listing specific cards. I just went more general. Your late game card that you need in this specific matchup because it always happens every time.
Yeah, like woe today. Mulligan into the only rant and rife. It's like, come on. Obviously, I need this card. I'm playing woe. This is probably the only card in my deck. What? So, it's frustrating.
Like I
The
said,
Cursed Relic. Like I have a Cursed Relic deck. I have no way to discard it out of my
See,
hand.
I have an
I
easy
need-
solve for Curse Relic. Just don't play that.
Just
deck.
don't play it. Oh, yeah.
Like-
I
Like,
mean,
I-
yeah.
You know what Curse Relic is going to be great for? Creating alliance pods.
Yeah.
that's what I was just about to say. Creating alliance
Stupid
pods.
alliance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like there are already decks. I think that someone said there's decks with 2 Curse Relics. That means there's just 12 random Amber in this deck somewhere.
Yeah.
Like it's going to create some really stupid pods. That's what that will do.
Oh no, though, because I know of an MM pod that I have where there's like 10 extra Ember in it, but it's all gets evenly distributed throughout the deck, so it doesn't load up a crazy pod.
I mean, that can happen, but it can also
Yeah,
be
more
really
likely to
advantageous.
happen.
I think it's going to be a bit rarer.
Well, because it's a little bit better than the old ones in MM because Curse Relic can't get enhanced.
Right.
So, like, if there are 2 Curse Relics in a deck, now you're talking about 34 cards. There's already other enhancers in most pods anyway. Like, you're talking about a number of Amber, just pips in general that are going to go swarm crazy over 34 distribution versus 36.
All right, so quick search on DOK here. There are 6 decks already imported that have 2 Cursed Relics. Even the second one in here, now it's a Saurian pod, so not super excited, but you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra printed Amber that's coming in
On top of whatever's there.
Correct.
Already. Yeah.
And that's where it's a little bit off. This one here's got 4. You have 2, 4. You got 6 in this Unfathomable. That Unfathomable I would definitely take. So it's when you have multiples and you don't have to go ahead and bring in the actual Cursed Relic. You're in a
this
very,
ghost
very good side.
form.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Double befuddle, initiation,
Yeah.
plunder, sunk cost.
Yep.
The
At the
Zero Basin
outpost.
outpost, and
Yeah.
you had bubbles with 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
That's a really good pod.
Yeah.
All right, come on. Next question. It's Cursed Relic. We all agree now.
No, I still say whatever you're playing on TCO because chances are you're getting whatever you mulliganed right back.
Oh, here's a
Anyways,
Brombar one with
what is your worst?
double rancid rive. All right, keep going.
What is
Keep going.
what is your worst deck? Does anybody know what their worst deck is? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Z might because he liked reversal.
Well,
I have my reversal deck.
I don't consider my best reversal deck my worst deck.
Correct. And that's what I put. By stats, my reversal deck actually gets play. Whereas if you look at second worst or what's there, it never sees play because it's got too many creatures. So no,
is
I think
worst deck determined by what?
I think that worst deck. Okay. So when I went for, and I'll throw this, let's be honest, you're not going to link it. So this deck is Bronson, Dragon Pack, the Singularity. And why does this jump out at me? Double hit and run, Chimera Eclipse, Mug, double Pester Blow, Trust No One. Oh, wait, look at the creatures. Double Bad Penny, Breaker Hill, Hugger Mugger, Simon. And then it's got the good wholesome Brobnar Worlds Collide, triple Volcano. I mean, this deck just... Yeah, it's bad. It's just real bad.
I was gonna say my worst deck is my highest SAS deck that I can't sell.
There you go.
Right? Because it's like it promises to be good, but it's not, and then nobody will give me money for it either. So it's totally trash. Yeah, lots of.
I mean, I can't name my worst deck because I just throw them all in the shredder bin. So I have a whole bin of my worst decks. Like they're all equally bad to me because like they're either reversal, they have a fun janky thing, or they're competitive. Everything else to me is equally as bad as everything else.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it's hard to get a real reversal deck, and they're just so painful.
Yeah. I know what my worst deck is. The one I'm currently losing with in Sealed.
Oh, there you go.
That's a good answer. I like that one. All right. This is the question I want answered the most. How many people need to be a top level Patreon to get Z to try and win with a Vault Tour with a Strange Shell deck?
Does this mean like register one Archon event and play it? Because if it's that, it still would have to be a lot. Like what's the cost of our top Patreon, Wookie?
$10.
Yeah,
$10?
It's either 10 or 20, but it might
200.
10,
200.
No,
200 people would have to be top level Patreons for me to register with Archon to play with the Strange Shell deck.
Well, hold on. It doesn't say
$2,000 Patreon. We'll take that too.
It doesn't say that you have to. It doesn't say it has to be Archon. It just says Strange Shell deck. So you could technically build a Alliance deck.
What? The worst playing Alliance deck registered in the event?
Yeah,
no.
You have to pay me twice as much to play Alliance with Strange Shell. Ugh.
I put 100,000 at the $1 tier, and I think we can do it.
100,000 at the $1 tier? You think we're gonna get 100,000 Patreons?
No, but I don't think he's playing Strange Shell deck.
Oh.
That's fine. I'll just say 100. If we ever have $110 tier Patreons, I would actively search for the best Strange Shell deck I could find, or borrow from someone, or make a clone of, and I would register for an event. $110 Patreon.
Take Z out of one of the VTs. There you go, guys. Just 100.
Just for a cool $1,000. All right. What's your favorite? What is your favorite in WoW? I'm not really sure where this one's going.
I think it's for. I think it was set up for flavor text. Because if you look underneath, what's your favorite in WoW? Favorite ever? What's the funniest flavor text?
Flavor text.
These cards
have flavor text?
I was gonna say these cards have flavor text.
Oh crap!
I don't know.
I should have looked ahead because I definitely have enjoyed some of the flavor text.
Visit the vault. Let me
open
one.
I'll share. I actually did research ahead of time. Way to go, guys! Just bringing the cast up again.
Yeah.
Mine is going to be Dragnet. Just the clams, ma'am.
Oh, I already know my favorite. I saw that one. I read all of it.
Yeah.
But
My
what's your
favorite is Troll. It's always been Troll. Does anyone know it?
No,
No.
go for it.
Don't remember.
Don't feed it. It'll go away. It's like the best advice
Mm,
that
that is a good one.
anyone that talks to the community could ever read. It's
That is pretty good.
yep.
Of the new WoW cards, I like Rant and Ride. The flavor text is there. Now nobody gets it.
That's great. That's fun.
The Brick Nasty is pretty good. The Loudness 8 out of 10, Destruction 9 out of 10. I like this band. Thorn, Brobnar Music Critic, which now needs to be a card. Music Critic.
They need to. There's another card they need to make well before they make that card. All right, let's.
This one.
Oh, you know what I liked? What's the shoot? The I'm doing great, guys. All right, never mind. Keep going.
Great audio here, Travis.
Right.
Woo. Standing
Arm,
on.
arm the plebs. This can't possibly backfire. Those are my plans.
Wait, what's this? All right, have the AC.
I got it. Master the theory. In theory, there is no difference between theory and practice. I like that.
All right, we ready to go to the next one, or we're going to read more flavor?
Yep.
I actually like for other sets, I like Telega. Don't try to change the Crucible to suit your needs. Let it change you.
Ooh.
That was there. And then for just kind of funniest flavor, I still love Nature's Call with the actual image and then what the flavor text is. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. So I thought that card still rings after Coda many, many years later.
Maybe one day it'll come back. One day. All right. Have the AC crew ever come to physical altercation over the wanton destruction of decks via the Shredder format?
We're talking about y'all.
I think it only happened once.
Ewok threatened to punch me, but he didn't.
I thought you guys did come. I thought you guys had an altercation.
It
was not a
because of shredding
physical.
of Wodex.
So here's the thing. He went ahead and shredded Wodex over at KFC, but he didn't do it in front of me. He's doing it all slyly in the background. And then he's like, hey, did you see that sheep's over there going ahead and shredding Wodex? Because that's just a kick in people's face, especially now that people in other countries still can't get their woe. I think that they should definitely set up a Patreon where they just pay for me to get out of jail for punching him in the face again.
Is
Well,
that
if you'd like to save a deck from Dr. Sheep's Shredder, you can now buy them from him.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it just happened the once. It wasn't really an altercation, but you can see those pictures over on our Instagram if you so desire. They are there.
we have an Instagram?
Yeah, we do. I mean, not much gets put on it because I don't really take pictures. So,
But,
you know.
And Sheep just remembers things. So
yeah, sheep. I mean, to be fair, everyone like that one time where that one thing happened. Sheep does typically remember what it was. So, to be fair, he does just remember things. So, I mean,
turns out Sheep's memory is admissible in court. So he's good.
All right, what is your most favorite combo in Keyforge? Can I go with mine first?
Sure.
Is that okay, everybody? All right. It's Heart of the Forest, then the Hate. Is that a Keyforge combo or not?
That's
really?
not a combo.
No. Oh, okay.
Just the look in your opponent's eye when you play it. That's what you're
right.
going with?
Yeah. That's
When
combo to me.
the combo is passing them the deck list and staring into their eyes.
Just wait till I come up with my 5 Heart of the Forest deck. It's gonna happen.
Fine. You'll be in alliance.
I will
I'll
be.
never see it.
That's fine.
Mine's old. Like it's because it is the first deck I bought. It's Battlefleet Key Abduction, the very first deck that I actually went out, searched for, found, actually negotiated, spent more than $50 on, had 3 battle fleets and key abduction, and that's actually kind of how I met Nova. I won an event playing that deck, and we started talking about it after that, which was really weird because during the event, people kept like talking about it, and then they were like watching each of my games, and then like pinging me about it the next week. So that's my favorite combo because I think it is what kind of got me further into the meta side of the game outside of just like store level play.
Sheep, what's your favorite combo?
Mine was Niflcon turn 1 concede.
Yeah.
That was good.
Is that a combo?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. JR, tell us about your collector worm.
I don't play combos.
Oh, okay.
So. No, the forever combo that will sit with me is I'm playing a nice deck for KFPL, Keyforge Premier League. And there's this Logos creature that has a tendency to be able to cycle.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't remember what is that Logos creature that if you have another creature out, that if it dies,
I don't know. It's an automaton of some sort.
Yeah, I can't remember. There was some other part that
you should have taken a picture.
A discard that was an upgrade that went on it, but I don't remember what it was. So,
well, you didn't know then either.
All right, watch out. You have to tell our listeners what you're talking about.
Yeah, now I want to know.
So this was when JR was playing one of Z's decks for KFPL, and kind of the deck's main feature for dealing with things is it had Automaton and Soulkeeper. So you put the Soulkeeper on the Automaton, and then it dies, and then it kills the most powerful enemy creature, but the Soulkeeper never goes away, right? Because the Automaton never goes away.
And it also had Obsidian Forge and a bunch of other cards. There's a ton of ways to kill it yourself, just every turn.
Did that deck also have Shark?
No, that's not.
No, that's not that one. Yeah, but it's that kind of thing. And then there was a turn, and Ewok exhumed something else pointless, and then dropped the Soulkeeper on it. I was watching the game, and I was just dumbfounded.
Oh, it's actually it was recorded, and it was casting it. So there was some comments that were said.
I'm sure we were very friendly and accepting of your mistake.
I still remember the conversation that went on afterward.
Favorite combo.
Southerly,
that's why we're always learning new things about Keyforge.
Southerly, what's your favorite combo?
This is just a fun one. It's not that great, but when you have like an Archimedes, well, there's this one specific deck, right? And it has a Martian Generosity, so you can set up whatever you want, and it has a memory chip, so you can put all your Logos cards away. And you can get Archimedes, Bouncing Death Cork, Helperbot, into Bren the Fanatic. And there's multiples of a bunch of cards. So you can pull it off 3-4 turns in a row. It gets bid at present.
Very nice.
Nice. Like it. Drazcore, did we get your favorite combo yet?
No, so I don't know. I've got so many different ones that I've enjoyed and searched for. I think when I first started playing, the one that I was like, ooh, I'm going to try to do that, it was Sting, Chota, and then some sort of bounce. So that was like super early. The other thing that comes to mind is the one I don't have. I don't have Animator Redacted with a bunch of capture pips. One day I would love to just do that, even if the rest of the deck sucks. Just like get a deck that can do that and be happy with that.
All right. The one deck that I always searched for back in Coda, and I did a lot of searching. Only one person ever had it, and I'm pretty sure he sold it, was I just totally drew a blank on it. Oh my goodness. Z, what's your favorite card in what's your favorite card in Keyforge? Control the Weak.
Favorite card in Keyforge?
Control the Weak. Control the Weak.
It used to be Control the Weak, but I'm actually kind of like tiptoeing my my happy self towards Befuddle.
Ooh.
Because like I didn't learn this until again we've been working on Sass and Art, guys. So like Control the Weak has pitfalls, right? Like you have to know their phase shift, you have to do the card counts and all this other crap, right? When you have 2 befuddles, you just name 2 different houses. It's just complete play lock. Whereas 2 Control the Weaks in hand, say you have 4 or 5 of them in deck, like you kind of have to like wait on them or whatever. You have to make those decisions. And another thing about like when you're controlling Weak into someone that has like house cheating, whether it's Exhume or Val or phase shift, like you kind of have to stay away from those houses because they have access to more than just that house. But Befuddle literally says the word cannot play other than that house. So house cheating does not work. It is a play lock except for 1 house. So I actually might like Befuddle more than Control the Weak. But yes, but prior to very recently, Control the Weak was by far my favorite card.
That was a combo I always searched for, was Control the Weak Screaming Cave. I just thought it was a combo that didn't get much attention. I thought it should get more. And then
It's
obviously...
because it's luck sack in the end is why
it is. I understand.
That's why Wookiee needed it.
That's why I need that luck. And I like rolling the dice. I'm a perpetual gambler. The other one was Genka. I've given up my Genka dreams because Sheep gave me a Genka deck and then sent it to Rick. So my whole dreams of ever owning a Genka deck just went really out the window. I stopped caring at that point.
Doesn't Sheep have 2?
What's that?
Sure.
Okay. Well, we'll go there. All right. What's the
As long as I
farthest
still have cheap sealed AOA, I tell myself, "Oh, I've got a Jenka deck. I just haven't opened it yet."
I have a lot of cheap sealed AOA
I don't even
still.
know if I've ever even opened Martian Generosity.
I've opened 1.
Yeah, I've opened 1.
I've opened 1.
At
All
least
right.
1.
What's the farthest you'd travel for a vault tour? We
As
know
far
Z
as I
is-
can afford.
So we know Z is Germany.
Yeah, I've been to Germany to play Keyforge. I don't know if I would do that again. I feel like the answer is no, but again, what was our term? Fanaticism. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Dumb fanaticism. I think was it dumb fanaticism?
Irrational.
Irrational fanaticism.
fanaticism. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about 3.5 seconds away from booking a trip to the Netherlands to play in the Vault Tour there.
There was a vault tour in the Netherlands?
Well, it didn't happen.
Oh.
Right.
Is this pre-COVID? Is this like right?
Right. It was like February 2020, and I was like, like not click book and like let me just see how this goes. And I guess it's a good thing I did.
Yeah.
So I had this whole master plan to like combine it with a family vacation. It was going to be like a whole thing.
JR, how far are you going for some Keyforge?
Dallas.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeehaw.
Southerly, how far are you going for Keyforge?
About an 8-hour drive.
Fair enough. All right.
Are you like X-Ray? Will you not fly?
Well, I don't mind flying. I'm a college student.
Well, I suppose.
I mean,
well, if we get those
X-ray
100 patrons.
There you go.
X-Ray just won't fly, so.
Yeah.
He will fly now.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
will he
double
now?
down
flying.
and play
He is flying to Philly.
He's
Yeah.
flying to Philly?
I'm surprised.
So is
Well,
somebody
he-
giving him like a muscle relaxer so he
Yeah,
sleeps the
a little bit
entire
of
time?
Xanax.
Or?
No, he's just
Uh,
working 2 jobs now and can't just
You
screw
pop
off
in those
whenever he wants.
gummies. Those are legal here.
Xanax are legal by you?
No,
Is that what you said?
Gummies.
Oh,
Yeah.
gummies. Gotcha. I was like, I didn't get that memo, but weird story, weird flex, bro. All right. Do you think GG creating a digital platform would be good for Keyforge as a whole? We have a digital platform. It's called TCL.
Thank you for beating me to the. It's just not going to effing happen. Stop asking us this question.
But like, like a digital platform exists. Like, what more do you want?
Well, I mean, in their last ownership article, they even kind of said, like, this is the first step to being able to deal with digital stuff.
Yeah,
Dude, if it's taking this long to get product over to Europe or around the world, we're not looking at anything anytime soon.
Totally
Anytime
different
soon.
people and team that would have it. Like those people have absolutely nothing to do with getting physical product out.
They're leaving the
my
door
answer is
open
I
at a
think
minimum.
this would actually probably be an amazing digital game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but the thing is, like, okay, so what do you do to top what TCO is doing right now? What, you add some
Make
animation?
it a real product. Like if
Yeah,
it looked
good
anything
UI.
as close to Hearthstone, we might have more players than Hearthstone. It is
Yeah.
a better game.
Mhm.
But like there's lots of quality of life features that TCO doesn't have. They're not gonna have them. They really just don't give a shit about that.
Tutorial, good UI, you know.
Like why can't I press a key and play like whatever cards in the first slot, second slot? Like why do you have to use the mouse at all? Like it's
You want hot? What? You're so
I mean,
lazy you don't even want to use a mouse?
you know how much faster what I'm talking about would be though? Like it's I don't know. The GUI for TCO is real slow.
I mean, slow walk would still be slow, but otherwise.
I'm really still back over here on the previous statement.
He's so slow.
And I think I'm in our AC live chat with JML that we need to have an Ewok for Punching Sheep 2023 campaign. So yeah.
Do we need
That
a
could just
t-shirt?
be a different Patreon goal. Like if we get like 2,000 a month.
No,
We
for
release a
Ewok to
video?
punch me, we need 47.
47.
So we're already
Ewok.
there. I feel a punch coming out.
47 $10 patrons?
No, we've got like 40. I don't know. We have
We
like,
don't have 47 $10 patrons.
We even have 47 patrons. We might now, I guess.
We're at 30 something right now, I think. Oh, we're at 58.
Heck yeah. That's a
Hey,
lot better
look.
than 7.
Yeah.
All
is.
I'm saying is I'm swinging back.
Oh, well.
And if there's one thing I know is
Okay,
Ewok has got a
Sam.
more broken down body than me, so I'm winning this fight.
Oh, for sure. Right now, the amount of battered and bruising that I have right now is absolutely ridiculous. So yes.
So if
yes.
you'd like to see Ewok versus Dr. Sheep on pay-per-view,
This is an old man fight.
we might be able to make that
Let's
happen.
throw the canes to the side.
We might be able to make that happen. All right, with chains gone, is the future of Keyforge more pay to win?
I don't know what Chains has to do with that statement.
I don't know why
they're
people
looking-
think chains made an impact. Like we had a whole segment, at least I had a whole segment on here where I talked about how chains were a totally failed experiment
Yep.
and how they really impacted the game, right? There's a few small pockets where it was semi-meaningful, and some people chased getting all those chains to power level, whatever. But for the most part, chains just meant you never played the same deck twice.
Oh, see, you read it that way. I read it more as adaptive going away. And so the idea that anyone can bring a deck.
Adaptive didn't go away because adaptive was never a thing.
Well, but
Adaptive was some crap format that they created and people did play, right?
And,
And
plenty of
that's
people
how
still
I,
like
that's
it.
how I read the
People still
question.
play, yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
can like adaptive and everybody can go like Alliance and go play that. It
Well, no,
doesn't-
not Alliance.
it doesn't mean that they're right. Yeah,
So
but people get to enjoy the game in their way. That's
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, I
learned
think
to live
some
with
of the
it.
I think some of the big lies that I was told when Keyforge was first being introduced and talked about is one deck.
Yeah,
one
we've
deck and you
gone
can go
through
there.
all of this before, though. Like,
But this is where, with the chains, some people still believe that. I do believe that there are certain decks that really excel with
Oh, yeah.
adaptive and others that don't. And frankly, even if we look back at what was it? The Keyforge, right when the pandemic started, our Shadow Worlds. The deck that actually ended up winning for adaptive was Martian Generosity because it basically had talked about it that you don't need to go ahead and have your chain bidding. One, there's an advantage for someone who knows the deck, but they were willing to go ahead and push increase in chains because it had very little impact with Martian Generosity and the ability to go ahead and get to your card. Now, whether that's true or not, that is a whole nother component to be debated. But that philosophy, when you are looking at it, people are trying to test, oh, what can my deck hold it? Can it get to 8 chains? Can it get to 11? They're like, I don't care. I'll take 24 because I'm gonna go ahead and go with efficiency here.
We're still way off the question. The question is
Yeah, it's got to be about chains.
Will it
'cause-
make the future more pay to win? And my answer to this is the future of Keyforge will be no more pay to win than it was before.
Yep,
or
I
less.
agree.
accept that.
Same
Because it has always been.
Just start
whatever it
saving your pennies because
was.
you're going to need $3,600 for a tier A deck.
No,
Wouldn't that
she
be fantastic. If you knew you could open decks that would be worth $3,000.
So do you think? All right. So if Sheep wins Philly,
Mm-hmm.
do you think prices get jacked up?
I think
No.
prices already
No.
have gone up since that sale happened.
Yeah, I think
We've had
prices-
teammates try to purchase a deck and then been quoted numbers that were actually higher for a deck that we know was offered at a different rate before the sell. That's already happened.
You're
Thanks,
all
Sheep.
welcome.
Ugh.
Sheep, how'd you feel about me bringing my random woe deck?
I was complaining to Z about getting wrecked by
I
your
didn't know it was him.
random berserker deck.
And so, again, I think that this is the statement of, is Keyforge pay to win? Yes and no. I think we got to keep pushing what is being produced. I think the common slots are extremely important, but I think that WoW is very viable, and I think there are phenomenal decks. And frankly, Keyforge is still one of those games where it's a paper, rock, scissors. We've talked about this multiple times, but there is no one individual
Hold
deck that's going to
on.
run and take it all the time. No,
Stop the bus.
No,
You're going too far.
Yep.
Okay, because it's not.
Next
There are
question.
different. There are different levels of this paper rock scissors game. Okay, you bring a knife to a gunfight, the gun's gonna win, right? Like, so we can't
Yes,
just say
it will
like it's all rock paper scissors because there's the fists,
No,
there's the
because
brass
my gun
knuckles, there's the,
jammed just on Tuesday. My gun jammed, and I got stabbed in the throat. It was awful. It was awful.
but the chances of you seeing that deck in a Vault Tour setting, unless it is also top tier, we don't know. I don't know the Z score, but unless the chances of you seeing that deck in a top tier setting are what? Not great.
This is what people show up with now.
So
He's
what
actually
you're
about
saying?
to see a lot better versions of that deck in a Vault Tour.
Yeah. So what you're going ahead and saying is that we should just be looking at SAS scores and Z scores in order to determine what decks we're going to be bringing, and
Just these scores.
Yeah, just
But
these
that's
scores.
what we're going to decide it on.
You got to
Sorry,
pay
I'm
us to
kidding.
see them.
Well,
That is correct.
Well,
Again,
let me ask you a question.
play your deck. Play your deck.
Let me
Know
ask you
your
a
deck.
question. Are you going to bring that deck to a Vault Tour? To the Vault Tour?
No, I have a very, very different, because I have a different deck that I want to take.
Okay. All right. Let's move forward. What should the next plushie be after? Well, I guess after the second plushie. After Fuzzy Gruen.
Lorb.
Dr. Sheep.
I'm still
Archons
sticking
Corner
with
exclusive.
I will actually be sad if Lorb doesn't ever make his presence
I will
known
not
on
be
some
sad
kind of
if I never
plushie.
have to see another Blorb ever again.
All right, guys. If they have a Blorb plushie at the Philly Vault, we're all buying it, right?
These
No.
people can't even print decks. They're not gonna...
But they just order that, right?
That is true. They would not be coming
No,
out of
that
the
the
printer.
Blorb plushie printer hasn't come in yet from China.
They said Jeremy's selling.
They've
right
got to
now.
sew them together.
So after the $10 an hour packing crew is done with that, then they go over to the other corner and they sell Blorbs.
This Blorb has 3 eyes. Well, and 1 leg.
But you knew it was a Blorb, so they did good.
Yeah. And 2 wings, which is strangely wrong.
I still want the little eye patch guy from Fathom Reaver. He doesn't have a card yet, but I like
The
him.
one on the
Good idea.
Yeah.
I like him.
That's good.
The little
I
guy
don't
in the-
care about plushies.
Yeah, I also don't. I mean, even if they made one, I probably wouldn't buy one. So,
I actually knew someone that did this next question, Wookie. This is an interesting one.
what's that one? Do you think elusive cards should be pulled back in the battle line similar to taunt cards but opposite? When they are attacked for the first time, bring them forward in the line with regular cards. I know elusive cards get missed a lot with new players, and this might help. Maybe.
I don't think they're going to change this, but I actually do like this. I did know a player that did this at the very beginning, and it did make sense. Like they didn't move them back up after the elusive was broken, but they did have them like slightly down, like taunt is slightly up.
At one point in time, I remember somebody was handing out little tokens. Now, Magic does this a lot with like creature type. I don't want to say creature types, but like keyword types that are of note and important. Where they'll put a piece of paper on it. You know, well, this is flying. You know, now they put the little paper on it. And at one point in time, somebody, I don't know who was making them, but had little acrylic like elusive, and what's the other? There was elusive and something else. Maybe it was taunt.
There's a player at my store that has a token for almost everything, and like
I still have them somewhere. I don't know. I got one when we were in Indy, but like I kind of like that idea because like you could put the elusive on, and then once it's broken, take it back. But then it begs the question: are you going to remember to put it back when you're done?
Well, then if you
It'd
don't
be the
put
right
it
thing.
back and then they go and attack, be like, well, I thought it lost elusive because it didn't have the token, and
Right.
that's no good.
Right.
I think. Sorry.
In live play, and I know this is against everything, but just be realistic and forgiving. Like if they say I want to attack and you go, oh, it's elusive, and they go, oh, I don't want to attack that then. Okay. Like, I mean, maybe you don't let them change houses because their whole plan was to fight it down and they can't. Well, then they maybe lose out. But like, I mean,
See, my issue with is like if you like as a judge, I've seen any game someone do what you're saying, like they let them take it back, and then later in the same game, almost the exact same thing happened, and the other person didn't let them take it back.
Oh, yeah, like that's going to happen, and you have to decide if you want to be that kind of person. Like I've always said, you know, it's like I don't joke when I say cheating is trying, or like if you need to cheat to win, you need this win more than me. Like if that's how you have to get your wins, like then you need them more than I do, right? So go ahead and take them because like this clearly means more to you in your life than it does to me. That's where my mentality sits on that kind of stuff. Like if you need to play like that to win games, then I don't know if I really want to play with you.
Well, I mean, at a vault tour, you really don't have a choice.
Well, back in the day, that's one of the things that I actually did appreciate about the significant change in the floor rules at one point, where like we were all forced to play that way. It takes the decision making out of the player, so there's no like, oh, I'm an a-hole for this or I'm not an a-hole for this. These are just the rules. The judge just said it before we started the event. But we don't know how that's going to be in the future. We have not. There was not a talk like that before we started KFC. I have not seen any floor rules other than the tournament guidelines. So who knows how it's going to be. If it goes back to the way it was before the floor rules came out, you're going to have the scenario happen that I just explained. And it's a real bad, like feel bad's loss. If you gave that benefit to someone and then they immediately that game don't give it to you and you lose because of it. It happens.
Is it a good idea? I don't think it's a bad idea.
What?
Hey,
The question.
bringing them back in the battle line to signify elusive.
Oh, I think it's actually a good idea. Because like I said, there was a player early on that did this. I thought it was really smart. I never did it because like at the time I was like pretty soon I actually went to vaults and like I had the whole rule thing explained.
So, like, how many people do you guys play against that don't even do the slide the taunt forward thing? Like I see it all the time.
Every time they don't do it, I tell them, I make them do it.
Yeah,
like,
but like
I'll point to the card like this needs to be raised.
I mean, I think having two different indicators based on the depth of the card can, like, at a glance, get confusing when there's no frame of reference. So I could be like, are all these guys taunting, or are those guys there?
It could get real weird if there's a taunt next to elusive. There's no visual.
Taunt next to elusive would be easy to tell, but
it's why you can't track states of armor and you can't track state of elusive because like you have to reset it. And if you forget, it's significantly problematic to game state later on.
Mm-hmm.
So like adding more tracking is not good, right? just sliding back and it never changes from that position. Like there's an elusive line that is something, but identification of where that zone is tough. But all this stuff does fix very well in digital. Like they could definitely put a gray halo around elusive things.
Add a
Mhm.
sound effect.
You could actually have like the person step forward if they're taunting, right?
So I remember back in the beginning of the game, I was wondering why they had you put taunt forward instead of pulling the protected creatures back. That always made more sense to me.
But that's the same thing.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
no,
then
it's not.
without the
No,
elusive,
yeah, yeah, I
right?
see
Right.
what
So then
you
it's
mean.
like whatever you can't attack is
Yeah.
bad. Mm-hmm.
That is
Yeah,
actually what I did at the beginning. Like that's
Okay.
how I played it first.
That's
what
still
thought
how
was
I
supposed
kind of
to
put
be.
my boards together. Is like
Yeah.
the stuff forward you can fight and the stuff back you can't. Which yes, isn't correct to the rules, but is clear game state.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you kidding? You just discard all your creatures now. We know how you play.
I mean, I have done that quite a lot more.
Yep.
All right. This is a question this is a question that I actually wanted to do almost a full episode on.
Yeah, we were gonna do this at some other time. So we will come back
Not
to
that
this.
one, the next one actually too. I wanted to do a full question on. Do you think changes in the Master Vault would result in many only friends subscription models?
Oh, the I want to rent your decks.
Yeah.
I mean, we were joking about that, right?
We were, but I mean, the problem is we were joking. Could be a real thing.
I think it will end up being a real thing. I think I am not going to do this, but I do think we will see this happen as soon as cloning is available.
You don't, as soon as clothing?
Cloning.
The ability to
Oh,
take a deck
cloning.
and to
Oh.
make copies of it.
It's actually a nudist event at Philly. I don't know if you know
Yeah.
knew that, but
Oh,
Walk
shit.
around in your Superman underwear. Yeah, this is
I only have Batman.
Well,
I'm Batman.
Sucks to be you. This is a thing that I actually, when I saw the question, I was like,
I think this is the reason, like, the first deck will be restricted or banned or something. Not because there are, like, great decks in the world. I think this is ultimately going to lead to them having to eliminate certain decks from the pool at a sooner clip than they would have naturally, because you'll just start to see the same X amount of decks every event, everywhere in the world. Assuming there's, events outside of this country.
because I imagine, especially with, oh, I can't go to this event or whatever, but just, I mean, you're going to see a lot
Mm-hmm.
for people who are not able to make events or whatever the case may be.
Like take
we're
next
friends.
weekend,
Just
right?
use my deck.
Like if I live in California, like making it to Philly is a beast. Like the actual flight there, the time changes, you're pretty much forced to stay till Monday to fly back at a time that's not, stupid or whatever. I'm sorry, it's the other way. You're forced to fly out Thursday or something. So like less people from the West Coast will be at Philly than, any other region, and to some extent the Mountain Time too. But like there are several people that play this game a lot that live there, and they could easily rent out the deck to people that live in the East Coast. Like this, and that's just talking about literally inside the same country.
I don't know if it's going to be a renting problem as much as it has always been in this game where like I can't go, but I know somebody who's going, and it's like I'd rather see you have a chance with my good deck than you have to go and play your not good deck. So
but I think
especially if I can just let
the renting thing,
people take it for free. Like I think you'll just see a lot of people being like, "Oh, now that there's like no risk to me letting you use my deck in an event, go ahead."
It can't get lost, can't get destroyed. They're using a clone.
Yeah. So like the fact that it becomes very low risk to do it. I mean, I'm sure there'll be some renting kind of stuff going on, but there'll be a lot of just because we have such a strong online community here through Discords, there will be a lot of just like, go ahead and play my deck.
And those two factors combined are going to create some other stuff. So I think this is definitely going to happen.
My other question is, once clones are available to be out there in the world. Does this affect the secondary market to how does it impact the secondary market? Does it impact it a lot or little?
I think it's going to have to impact it because,
Doesn't
like,
it significantly increase the value of really good decks?
Does it? If everybody has one?
well, hold on,
Well-
but carry that through though. Like, let's say you have fraud, and you then have cloned it out to 3 people for whatever reason. They have it; they're friends with you on there. Isn't it then harder for you to sell that deck?
Well, no, because as soon as its ownership changes, they lose friendship and they can no longer use it.
Yeah.
That's an assumption.
So will you sell
No,
it as
that's very much what they say. That's very clear because if you're not friends with the
Yeah.
owner of their deck, you cannot
No,
use
that's
it.
what will happen. But in your scenario, you're talking about your just friends are using it. If I'm one of these people that's subletting my deck, though, like that starts to get really, really complicated.
well,
Well,
you're
no,
selling a investment instrument that's got a dividend on it,
Uh-huh.
right? So
Yeah, exactly. Like a true top end deck, if deck renting is a real thing, makes them worth more.
what's
Right,
your
because
QSIP
you
number
can
on
do it.
fraud?
7?
No, it's just 7. Okay.
Wait,
I have
what-
no
what is
idea
the-
what kind of number I was giving you.
QSIP, that's like how you identify a security on the exchanges. Whatever. Never mind.
Oh, PF. PF7.
Strasbourg's familiar with writing off your deck purchases on an LLC.
There you go.
Yeah, right? Like, if you're renting your deck, you could seriously probably set up an LLC for it.
Yeah, you probably should
But-
when you get sued
Yeah.
by the people who are like,
Right.
wait, now you defriended me and I've been paying all this money, right? So, yeah.
Z was
That's
not
what
wrong
I-
when he was talking about it.
Yeah, like that creates a lot of issues that never existed before. But we'll see what happens because it's going to happen.
like, there is certainly renting Power 9 for Magic tournaments. It's got to exist.
Mm.
Oh, does it?
Gotta
I don't know about that. Maybe.
I'm certain
Alright.
it exists.
Well,
Yeah,
I
more
mean, you
questions.
got to
Let's
remember
go.
the Power 9 is not a very like played thing. You're talking about
You're not Magic X.
Legacy. Hold your
Next.
horses. Calm down. Legacy is not a very played format. So,
Uh,
all right, we're doing this one last question, and then we'll probably go through more at another time. What can GG and or the players do to get new players to join the community? According to Sheep, nothing.
No. No. So what my true answer to this is we are not marketing people. It is not our jobs to figure this out. And they do need to figure this out. Right? But if it was that easy to come up with the answers, this wouldn't be a question.
yeah, because we've been asked this question many times.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've said before, right? Or folks who played Flesh and Blood have said, "Hey, cool prizes for
Mhm.
going out and going to your locals."
Can't just be
I
cool
mean, that-
prizes. It
Yeah.
has to be meaningful prizes, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's kind of one and the same thing
well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
to
think
many people.
I think the disc tokens are cool, but I'm not going to go out of my way to go drive hours to an event to get one.
That means they're just not cool enough. So
Okay.
they're not actually cool.
Well, but I think again, meaningful,
Yeah.
right? Like when they're pieces of cardboard. I guess you're right. That's just not cool. Like they're cool,
there-
but they're not that cool.
There are other games that have succeeded and do just fine, and their prizes are not that meaningful.
Like,
Like, the prizes in Magic are not that meaningful for Friday Night Magic. Like, the prizes that matter for that are the fact that they always do store credit and give away decks or
Right.
packs.
they
Right?
usually give
It
away
is
packs.
not the foil, whatever you get that's worth $3.
Well, and it's been around. The longevity from Magic just continues to bring.
What
more
I'm
people.
saying, like, prizes alone will not land you a thing. Free decks, JM, will not bring you in tons of players. The more free stuff you give away from the game, the more you devalue it. Like, you can't just flood the market with free junk. It does not work.
Ask
So-
7C.
So well, that is true on 7C, but people do love it now. My response has actually changed for this. Right now, I think what GG can and needs to be doing is very simple, and that's communication. They started off very, very hot once the transition was announced. I think that things have really cooled off, but they need to communicate with the player base. They need to communicate with the stores right now, and they need to get product in all of the stores yesterday. Go ahead.
I mean, this is directed toward like what can GG do, right? Like, shouldn't they just market? When's
Yes,
the last time
Yes.
GG or FFG has marketed this damn game?
they haven't. Which is
Like-
why this is why that there needs to be communication with the stores and they need to market. Yes, for new players to join our community, the person across the table is why I come out. I enjoy playing with people in our local scene. I enjoy Wookie when you were there. Sheep, I love that you have consistently been there. I appreciate that Jason Missed Perfect is out. I
Wait,
appreciate that Sydney is.
Did you just say it very clearly that like everybody else you like being there, and you're just like you like that I come, but there was nothing about actually liking me.
Sydney,
That's what I heard.
I absolutely love that she drives the 45 minutes. But
Sheep,
it's the
I like
little
you.
conversations as soon as we get back in the car that Sheep's like, yeah, you're going to call me in 2 minutes anyway. But it's that relationship where you've created a friendship, and that's what we need to do. But that's the extent of where we are as a community. People will come out if you have a friendship. Frankly, I'm spending a lot more money than I probably should to go to Vault Tours, but it's because of our amazing community. So continue that. Build it up, enjoy the small little moments there. That can be the Drascore experience. It can be going and grabbing food beforehand. It can be seeing friends that you haven't seen in a while. To be able to do that with a game that we love makes it that much more. But the game will come if GG is frankly doing what the company needs to do to publicize it, to be able to go ahead and push that information to the stores and make sure that people are aware, hey, the game is not dead, because it's clearly not.
Didn't you
Yeah.
have someone the other day just be like, "Oh, I thought that game was dead,"
Yeah,
and it was a store
Yeah, the
employee?
store employees
on
Yep.
Tuesday. And that's where I started. Like I was talking to him because all of a sudden we've been trying to buy a deck. We come out on Tuesdays, but all of a sudden the product just magically left. There was a few decks from AOA. There was some Worlds Collide. There was some DT. And all of a sudden it just disappeared. And so I had a conversation with them. I've seen a couple different store employees that were there. And that's exactly what the comment was, is, oh, you're here. Yeah, you're here like every once in a while, every couple of weeks. No. We're here every
Well,
week. We've been here every
there
week.
were a few weeks that we have missed. Yeah, so it
For that store employee, honestly, when you weren't even gone, because on vacation you came back and we're still here. We left when we thought we were going to be here in January playing with WoW. That is the only reason that we took a little bit of a hiatus, because there was nothing until May. I mean, let's be very honest. And we lost one of our locals as a result of it. But
Yeah.
others have come out. I enjoy little comments, there's
The
inside
thing
jokes and
is
fun things.
how do they get that information out in a meaningful way? Right? Like that's where they're suffering. Like articles on keyforging.com are useless
Yeah, it's not going to touch anyone.
finding players. Us creating this podcast does not bring in many new players,
Nope.
right? There is not a podcast that is Keyforge centric that brings in new Keyforge players, right? Like you're already a Keyforge player if you're listening to a Keyforge podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So they're
Well, and
We
that's
are-
where like normal business marketing should be a thing. Like I first learned
Yes.
about this through Amazon because there was marketing things. They had a video from Garfield himself. Like there's all kinds of like marketing things that
that's it.
did.
We haven't seen advertising for this thing anywhere. Like They're not advertising on BGG. They're not.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, where's the
Product.
BGG banner? Like,
There needs to be product before they can do that. So
That's-
so it's
There
possible.
is supposed to be a pre-release event in approximately 1 month from now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like they should be advertising that Keyforge is back.
Yeah, it's coming.
Come and play. And maybe they're going to do that, and maybe it's just a few weeks before the events are going to happen. Because if you see a thing for a month out, it may not be something for you.
see.
But like, there are places that they need to be advertising. There are plenty of more general gaming podcasts and card gaming podcasts that will take their money and at least say, hey, this Keyforge thing is back again. Like, I don't know how many people are just straight, I will take your money and say it's the greatest game, even if I don't think it is. But there are definitely plenty of places that will take your money and be like, hey, we took their money. This is a thing. Check it out.
Well, Wookie, weren't you in talking with Professor, who has a much bigger influence on like the Magic community?
Yeah.
So you have to have some strategy of who you're communicating to and who's.
Well, I mean, I'm
your
not gonna lie to you. I was trying him to get, because he's got his new shuffle up and play, and he did a Yu-Gi-Oh episode, and that was like a big thing. And I saw a lot of the Keyforge community like, time to do a Keyforge episode. I mean, let's be honest, like, that is not financially responsible for the Professor. like this man lives and dies off of what he produces on YouTube. Yep. I don't know how many people are going to watch that episode. Like, I mean, we get,
and that's why GG has to
sweeten the pot a little bit.
Yeah, right. Make it worth it for him to do.
Right.
And I will say
that's marketing dollars, right? Like, I mean, marketing dollars need to be spent to find players.
The crazy thing is, when we were doing live, I was like, what kind of dollars do we got to bring? Because he was seriously considering coming to Milwaukee to play Keyforge. Like, and I was like, what kind of money can we throw him, like, to make an appearance? Because I thought it would be huge for the game to get him in playing some Keyforge, and everyone's like, oh, the Professor, I mean, look what he did for Flesh and Blood. Now, he doesn't do that for Flesh and Blood no more after all the craziness and all the controversy that spilled over there. But, he does other things, and I don't know. It's one of those things where, I think maybe it's time for Gigi to spend a little money on getting some of the higher end names on YouTube doing some stuff for them.
Yeah, they did do interviews with that one other show,
Team Covenant, which Covenant is I mean, they're big, but again, they're so all over the place. You know what I mean?
Well, but that's where they do need to do it, on those kinds of shows, right. And just maybe, like, you got to figure it hits X percentage.
Somebody's watching Team Covenant right now.
So
I don't even know
marketing,
how big.
Spending their marketing dollars to find new players is
Welcome to the Covenant YouTube.
Done. None of us are marketing guys, so we don't have great answers for you.
Well, and here's the deal. Team Covenant, I mean, and I know this sounds nuts, considering we're a show that gets like 2,500 listeners a week. Team Covenant is only 57.2K subscribers. So that's not a ton. I mean, and their average view count is right around the same notch as our listenership. So Team Covenant, maybe not. I mean, again, good idea, but maybe not the best, because they're more of a business and the dealings of getting product out there, as opposed to Professor's more of a talking head. And not
but GG does need both. They need, like, Team Covenant that used to sell Keyforge. Like, I think that was actually a fine idea. The problem is they needed to do all of the things. They're relaunching a game, and as far as what we've seen, as far as their marketing imprint, it's just been to all of the people that already knew about the game.
So, like,
we're talking about CTP though. Like, that's been his MO.
Oh no, FFG used to advertise like crazy. Like,
Really?
I would get FFG advertisements in my Reddit feed line and my Facebook feed line all the time. Absolutely. Like, they advertise.
Mm-hmm.
product releases, and then they would push to Team Covenant. I would get the Team Covenant emails, like new sets coming out, get your pre-order, blah 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 blah, and I would see that on BGG all over the place.
So I shared, I've shared around a PDF a bit of the Keyforge PDF of what's available to game stores, right?
Yeah.
We had to ask for that, right? Like, it was not sent to the store. It was not like, hey, Keyforge is back. Check it out. It was like, I had to have my store contact their rep directly and say, like, what's going on with Keyforge? That's what we're dealing with, right? Like, the stores don't know it's a thing. Like, only those of us who care about Keyforge know. And it has to get put in front of people that are not already invested.
Yeah. So JML listed, they definitely advertised the GameFound campaign, which I do believe they did. Like that I saw, but I haven't seen present release. I haven't seen consistent follow-up. I know there's multiple different areas that's GG
Jeremy's
needs
busy,
to go ahead
man.
and
He's packing decks. He's getting vault tours, right? Oh,
He's sewing up a blorb.
he's sewing blorbs.
I understand.
Maybe he needs an assistant.
Here was the comment that really hurts. The store manager who I was talking with left with, well, from a niche group, that piece hurts. Because that's what we're seeing. But that's what we're seeing.
But that's what we are. Like,
correct.
Why do people think this has to be mainstream? Like, you would even call the One Piece group a niche group. There's 12 people who consistently play that thing. But that's it, man. It's like 12 guys. They all work at Amazon, and they all come and play One Piece together.
I don't have an issue with that. But I'm telling you, like, it has decreased, and there needs to be some larger net tossing for our marketing, for having products for people to play. I mean, it's a multiple fronts effort when you want to re-release a game.
In my total lying to myself thing, I'm going to believe that they know more about marketing, or somebody knows about marketing. Like, that's kind of what Jeremy's thing is. And there is not product on the floor. The first Vault Tour is happening, but like the regular stuff you can go play is not happening yet. So what are they advertising?
But you keep
like,
saying
go to your local store and you can buy stuff in a few weeks and maybe play with the guys who are hanging out in the store, because we've got no organized events and we got no product. So there is not anything to advertise today.
So do you think, and I know this is not on the questions, but do you think that it would have been a better company decision to produce WoW and have a much more formalized process for getting it to backers on GameFound, and then have product ready to go to stores and have an actual plan in place for OP, then going ahead and staging it and releasing it just on first come, first serve, or who is closest?
I don't know. I think we're so heavily invested in the game that we have zero patience. We're ready to play yesterday, right? And new players or returning players, or the people who are not us, who are not super invested, like, it really doesn't matter to them if this is quiet for another month or two. They don't know about it right now. So it doesn't matter if they don't know about it for another month until there really is a deliverable. And there is not a deliverable to non-game found and silly.
But the problem is that you keep talking about, like, you need to get product in the store. The people in the store don't even know product's coming. Like, they don't even know that that's
but it is
even
just
a
the pre-release product so far that's really orderable.
But isn't that kind of important? Well, like, it's a pre-release, but like we talked to the manager and he's like, oh.
Yeah, well, like I was saying, hopefully they've got something planned here for the new future, and we see a bunch of stuff, right? We don't know what the plans are. We know we have seen nothing yet. We are concerned that it's going to be like it has been, and there is not going to be much. But maybe it's
guys. I'm sure it's going to be in the article that we're going to get by next Thursday. That's also announcing the rest of the vaults.
Well, because Jeremy has to work stupid hours, it's going to come at 12:02 in the morning again. Whatever this last one hit.
I don't know what
time that was. Just some timed release.
More than likely. All right, let's go through one more, and then we're going to call it a night. because this one got bolded real big. If Ewok were to pick a key warrior of the month, somebody who is a positive influence on the online Keyforge community, who would it be and why?
Well, as a good little Boy Scout, I didn't just pick one because I've had multiple set up, and I do think that there are a lot of people. First one I'm going to catch some flack for, but frankly, I put GG as the first one, and that is straight up for saving the game.
Chill.
There you go. But I'm going to tell you that without GG, frankly, the algorithm's lost. The great game that we love isn't having this vault tour that's happening in under 2 weeks. And so that for me, with all the frustration, and it is very, very, very frustrating, I'm still grateful for that. So that is the first key warrior. Number 2, Southerly. I know you're here with us, man, but Southerly Elf, you've put in a tremendous amount of time, and I'm super excited to see our Zeta testing finish up, because the product that you've put out and that you've worked with, and Z, your scoring system as a whole, it's another phenomenal asset for the Keyforge community. The third group that I had, frankly, is people who've put up their own money. This is a shout out to Joker for Vault Warrior, Jupiter for starting KFPL, the Keyforge Premier League. I don't know how we as Keyforge players survive the pandemic without TCO, frankly, without Vault Warrior, without online events. I just don't think it happens. And so that is my third group. I frankly had our own supporters. So Lokacar, Hiram Graph for Tuesdays, Sheep. I know you're with me now, but you guys ran events, and you were so consistent. You were there every single time you said you'd be there. And if not, you're on vacation, you'd find someone else to be able to sub in for you. And I don't think, I think too often that just goes unnoticed or it's underappreciated. But that is the community that I look forward to being able to chat. I can't make an event. I show up a little bit late. I just got the kids down. You know, that's dad life, but I'll still hop in and talk to people. And I enjoy every comment that's there. And frankly, we have more content creators who are coming, but that content creation list is phenomenal. Seeing people at KFC, I'm very, very humbled to be a part of this group. We have a phenomenal Keyforge community. And so I know that I plugged it into 5 different categories, but I don't think Keyforge exists if even one of those isn't here. So I know that your new piece is a huge addition. And so I'm really excited for you to be able to share it and really take pride. I know you didn't have a lot of voice there today, but behind the scenes, man, you're rocking it. So awesome job, everyone.
Yeah, a bit over 2 months of work should come to fruition very soon.
And one thing I want to say before we wrap it up here, there's a lot of new Keyforge content creators out there. If you're on social media, share their stuff. Give it a like. Do subscribe to them. Do all the things that is important for Google to get it into the algorithm. I feel that one of the most important reasons that some of the games are in the position they are right now is due to their content creators. And that's legit. Like, if you look at the games that are on top, they are the ones that have the most consistent and best content creator core. So it is important to, even if you don't watch the whole video, give it a like, give it a share it on your Facebook, share it on your Twitter, share it on your TikTok, whatever the case may be, because the more it's out there and the more it's able to be found, the more people are going to be willing to try it. But it's not going to get out there. It's not going to get found. And it's going to be, I don't remember what Sheep used this week, but, you know, posting our events in the Facebook group to a bunch of people that are already in the Facebook group does nothing, right? sharing it to other Keyforge players and sharing it in Discords doesn't do a ton. It needs to get out to the people who haven't played in a while, who are coming back, or the people who have never played it and want to try it. That's honestly the most thing. So go check out your HFFS. Go check out, I'm trying to think of all the people like off the top of my head. And I'm drawing a blank, but
see, Wookie, this is why I didn't even go ahead and start to list, because there are so many.
There's a lot.
I mean,
a lot.
You have Bottom of the Beaker, you have Nordic Keyboard Podcast, you have Amber Medes, you have
Orion,
KPR, yes.
Murph is doing some stuff. I'm gonna butcher his name. Lenusu? I've checked him out on a number of occasions.
Lenusu is from it's Linus from the
right.
old.
I didn't know what
Nordic.
he wanted to be called. Data Forge.
Zoc,
all the things. Yeah. You know, share it, get it out there. Because again, the more Google can reach onto it as an algorithm, the more Keyforge is going to show up, and that gets it into that same kind of echelon as your Magics, your Yu-Gi-Ohs, your Pokemons, and all these other games that are being played right now. It's so
you have
important.
Captain's Compod. I mean, you have us. Wurntle's not there anymore. You have Weekend Key Warriors. Again, the list keeps increasing. Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Warcaster Forge, that's new.
Mhm.
KPR is new.
What is I'm trying to think of what did you say with Warcaster? That's Tobin's, right?
The Warcaster Forged.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a read.
But again, there's so many great individuals out there, and I apologize if I missed anyone, because I'm sure I did. But
you did. But again, there's been, since Keyforge came back, there's been a bunch, right? But the most important thing is just getting it into the algorithm, so that people who don't know about it are able to stumble upon it. That's the biggest thing, and that's where I'm going to leave it for today. What do you guys got for final thoughts? Sheep, final thoughts.
Dinobot too, man.
Dinobot.
Oh yeah.
Andy Forge, Dinobot, like yes. See,
Again, my point still rings true. But Sheep, what do you got for final thoughts today?
Keep playing.
Jazzcore?
If you can't make it to Philly, I believe TTR, there's another group, is going to stream it, right?
Yep.
So check out the stream if you can't be there. If you are going to be there, say hi to us. And
everyone except Jazzcore.
Say hi to everybody except Drazcore.
He'll be there. He'll be in Second Ember.
Yep. You're no. I'm gonna go and say
you are no fun to make fun of.
Can I just bring a sealed deck?
Yep.
Is that okay? Because
Totally
I play
allowed.
sealed. That's what I'm gonna tell them.
Totally allowed.
Yep.
So, who do we got next? Ewok.
Shout out to Ketzer and Captain's Keypot, like Captain's Compod. There's so many good content producers out here. I am excited to be able to see some of you over at Philly. So if you see me, come say hi. I always enjoy being able to meet people, even if it is that little break when you're trying to go and get bathroom or some water.
Mhm.
But come see me. It is great to have our community with us.
Southerly.
One final question for the AMA. Why did the chicken go to the seance?
Because
To get to the other side.
got it. All right.
And to draw better.
Rob and Z, what you got, Z?
I look forward to seeing lots of folk that I haven't seen in a while at Philly next weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. I have been playing lots of WoW, and it is an amazing set to play. It is not just fun; it is really, really good. So get on TCO and play some WoW. You don't actually have to own a WoW deck to play on there. Pull one up on DOK or a Master Vault or whatever, and plug it in there. And heck, if you have Patreon, look up the Z-score first, find a good number that you like, and see how it goes, because it is very fun to play this set. That's my advice. Go play some WoW.
That's going to do it for us this week. Join us next week, where we don't know what we'll be doing or if we'll be doing anything.
We'll be here Thursday. All of us will
right.
be here.